The purpose of this video is to talk to you about how to connect your CUSD device to one of our Clovis Unified ScreenBeams. In your classroom, you may have wall connections that look similar to this. Across our 51 different campuses, each of those campuses may have different connection ports. However, for this video, I will use this specific type for today's video. And I'm specifically talking about the HDMI port located over here, and I am specifically talking about the Actiontec ScreenBeam. As you prepare to share your screen, you may notice in your classroom something that looks like this. This is the Extron control panel. Now, again, across 51 campuses, not every campus will function exactly the same, but for this video, I'm using this example. You'll notice on the left where it says display that there are two buttons, one indicating on and one indicating off. Across my campuses, I usually click the on button, and then it may take up to a minute or a minute and a half in order to fully turn on. The other two items that you see here are the volume, as well as these four buttons located over here. Each of these buttons is associated with a wall import located on either side of the whiteboard. And for the most part, I find that the very first one on the left is input number 1. The next one is input number 2. The one on the right side of the board is usually input number 3. And then the very last one is input number 4. It won't always work like that, but for the most part, that's how it works for me. Also note that in some situations, you may need to push one particular button more than once so that it moves from salmon to green. This will not happen on every campus, but double check to see if that is the culprit if you are not connecting successfully. So let's go ahead and make sure that the ScreenBeam is plugged in appropriately. We have 3 different plugs. One must go into the power. Please make sure that both ends of the power supply are plugged in appropriately, fully plugged into the wall, and then the smaller end needs to be adequately plugged in to the ScreenBeam. In addition to that, your HDMI cord needs to be plugged into both locations, not only the wall, but the device as well. This third item, if things are malfunctioning, go ahead and pull it out and tuck it back in, and hopefully that will remedy your problem. When power is adequately supplied to the device, you will notice how this blue light illuminates. On the exterior of the Actiontec ScreenBeam, you may find a sticker naming that particular device. So as you're trying to connect, you can easily discover which one is the appropriate one to connect to. Once you have selected the correct buttons on the wall indicating your source for the projector and the Actiontec is plugged in and functioning properly, the screen should display something similar to this. You'll notice on the left-hand side down here at the bottom, what the sticker displays on the Actiontec is also displaying right here on the screen as well. It saves you time. You don't have to crawl around on the ground in order to figure out what you are connecting to. Let me go ahead and switch over to my computer at this point. When I am using the computer, I will need to tell the computer that I would like to connect to the ScreenBeam. In order to do that, I'm going to hold 2 different buttons down on my keyboard, and I don't push them at the same time. I push them in order. I hold down the Windows button, and then I touch the letter K, K for connect. I know the word connect starts with the letter C, but I say K for connect just as a memory tool. When I do that, over here on the right-hand side, my computer is going to discover any resources that I can connect to. And you'll notice right here that it shows the name of the Actiontec that I would like to connect to. So I'm going to click so that I can connect to the Actiontec. And 2 things will happen when I do this. I have the ability to type in a special code into this area right here. And the other thing is that on the screen, I will see a multi-digit number indicating that my device has permission to successfully pair with this device. Now it's my job to head back to my computer. I'm going to type that same code into this area right here. And then over on the right-hand side where it says connect, I want to make sure that I click connect. After I have done that, my device will examine the security features to make sure that everything is dandy, and then whatever it is that I want to display should function properly moving forward from that point on. Now, This next bit is going to talk about display features. If you do not want everything that's on display on your laptop to simultaneously display on the projector, you want those items to be different, you would choose 2 keyboard commands. There's more than one way to do this. You can use Control K and then look at display options. That's absolutely acceptable. I usually use keyboard commands and I choose Windows P for project. That's the strategy that works well for me. And then when I do this on my computer, this sidebar will appear. And I can either choose duplicate or extend. Duplicate means that whatever's on the wall is exactly what I can see on my computer. Extend means I would prefer to have my email and the next few details ready on my computer, but I want the students or my audience to see something different. I want to drag a different material over to that space. So choose extend if you want your screens to be different. Choose duplicate if you want them to be the same. Now, let's pretend that you do not like either moving to the left or moving to the right in order to display on that second screen. For example, maybe you want to drag up from your computer in order to display something, or maybe the whiteboard is over to your right and you want to drag to the right, or maybe the whiteboard's on your left and you want to drag to the left. In order to choose what direction you're going to drag to your second screen, you're going to head down to the magnifying glass on the bottom of your computer, click one time on the magnifying glass. Using this search box right here, you're going to type the word display. When display settings appears right here, go ahead and click one time so that your display settings will appear. And then scoot down the screen just a little bit until you come to this specific area where it says rearrange your displays. Number 1 is your primary screen or your computer. Screen number 2 is what you're projecting on the wall. You can actually grab box number 2 and scoot it around either to the top or to the right, whatever's most comfortable to you. Once you've had an opportunity to drag that to the top, to the right, to the left, whatever position is most comfortable for you, you will then see a button over here that says apply. When you click apply, the computer now understands that you want to scoot to the right whenever you're sharing extra content with your audience. You don't want to go up and you don't want to go left. You would prefer to drag to the right. Choose apply, and then after you have chosen apply, go ahead and click out of that box. Now, if you are working with 3 screens and things are not behaving swimmingly for you, if 2 of your screens are exactly the same and you don't want 2 of your screens to be exactly the same, you would prefer that all 3 of them are completely different, then you would scoot down the screen even further in order to find where it says multiple displays. From here, you can choose extend these displays in order to make sure that screens 1, 2, and 3 are all different and that nothing is repeated. Team, thank you so much for watching today's video and have a great day.